Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Not even gonna say welcome back because quite honestly, I feel like I'm almost like starting over on my channel. It's been such a long time since I filmed. So we are just going to start brand new. It's just been a crazy few months and I feel like I'm ready to jump back into YouTube now. So I am planning to, for this video, kind of go through and talk about like what I've been up to for the past couple months. I know I haven't posted for at least almost maybe 3 months. I don't even know. So it's been a little while. I've been pretty busy and I just wanted to kind of flip through my planner because I figure what better way to show you guys what I've been up to than showing you all of my spreads and going through pretty much everything. So I am still using my Hobonichi Cousin. I have used it every single day this year. I feel like that is a momentous thing that I need to announce because I am a serial planner flipper, if that makes any sense. I just am constantly changing planners and never sticking with the same one for more than like, I don't know, maybe like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. So this is huge that I've stuck with this and I have no like inkling in my brain that I need to switch. So kind of a big deal for me. So let's just kind of get started. I'll probably be like talking about random things as we go. So just bear with me. Hopefully this is pretty entertaining. If not, I mean, you can kind of click around and see kind of what's going on. But yeah, so let me just kind of get started and talk through and walk through. I'm going to start with like the monthlies and everything. The front of the planner, I've just been using this kind of as my good things section. I always have that in my planners regularly in terms of like if I've used an Erin Condren planner, I always have had some type of area where I list out all the good things every day. And what better way to use this perpetual calendar type thing than using it to list all of that stuff. So you can see it's kind of small. It's kind of hard to kind of see everything in here, but what I wanted to do was mark some of the kind of big and really important things in a pink color, and I might change that color when I get to this other spread over here. But for now I'm doing it in pink, so I have things like we went on a cruise, just a really short weekend cruise in January. That was kind of the big thing that month. The only other big thing was my husband and I got really sick at the end of the month, and so we were just down for the count. I haven't been that sick in a while, and it was like to the point where I was sick and then I hurt my neck from coughing so much, so that was like an extra 3 days of feeling just like garbage. So all that to say, February was a really good month. I had my 30th birthday, but I was very sick for that, so I didn't get to do anything, which was fine. We just kind of stuck around at home, and I'm a homebody, so that's kind of stuff that I enjoy, but it would have been fun to do at least something fun for my 30th. So I don't know, maybe I'll go big for my 31st. My family came to visit in the middle of the month, and we had like a delayed or belated Christmas Day, a barbecue, all that kind of stuff. And then we also celebrated my birthday here with like my family, and that was really fun. And then we also looked at houses for my dad so he could move down here. And then finally at the end of the month, I booked a cruise to Alaska. So we're gonna do that this summer, but we had a really good offer through one of the cruise lines, so I booked one. March, I got a 90-minute massage, which was absolutely incredible. And then my sister and my dad ended up putting an offer in on a house down in Arizona. I booked my Taylor Swift concert ticket, and then I went to the Taylor Swift concert in Las Vegas on the 25th. And that was like a major highlight of my month. And that's pretty much it. April so far has been pretty good. Not a whole lot of notable stuff. It's just been kind of one of those months where I'm doing some catch up and kind of planning for the rest of the year. I feel like the first 3 months of the year, they were really good, but I really felt scattered. And I think that's why, part of the reason, I guess, why I haven't been filming. Despite like all the really good stuff that happened beginning of the year, I'm someone who is definitely an anxious person. I definitely suffer from depression at some points, and it's really easy for me to get in my head and just kind of tell myself things and like negative messages that I shouldn't, in terms of like whether or not people actually want to see my content, whether or not people actually enjoy my stickers and my, my Etsy shop, all that kind of stuff. So I think the first 3 months of the year, I was really in my head with some more negative stuff than really I should have been thinking about. And I think that's the main driver behind me not like producing any content or anything, is I just kind of had myself convinced there for a little bit that just whatever I was putting out there didn't really matter all that much. And I'm trying to get that out of my head and just kind of share things because I want to, not because I think anyone's actually going to watch them, which is kind of a shift, you know, to being a little bit more positive and doing things that I really enjoy because I enjoy them and not because I feel like I have to or feel like it's what I'm supposed to be doing, I guess, if that makes sense. So all that to say, the first 3 months of the year, they were really, really good and a lot of good things happened, but I was definitely just kind of in my head a little bit more. April, hopefully going forward, won't be so much like that. So if you can relate to that, let me know, but it's just one of those things where I feel like every year there's like a month or two in there where I just totally get in my own head and just feel a little bit sorry for myself, and that's never a good thing for me. So if we move on here, we kind of just jump into the months. Really, December, I had no idea what I was going to be using this planner for the monthlies, so I didn't really have a lot going on here. And still through like January, February, March, I still wasn't quite sure. I did decorate and all of that stuff, and they look nice, you know, with stickers and all of that, but I still didn't really know if this was going to be like my main planner or something else. I wasn't quite sure. So you'll see there's not a whole lot of stuff, and this was a little bit more decorated than the prior months, but still not super crazy. And then I just didn't really decorate in April. I've been doing some forward planning in May, so I'm using it a little bit differently where I don't know if I'm going to decorate, partly because I don't know how bulky I want this planner to get, and I know with all the sticker kits and everything and all the stuff I'm putting in my dailies, I just don't know if decorating every single spread is even really something that I want to do. So this is super plain. I haven't even put any like highlighter on it. It's literally just been pen. So I would like to kind of spruce this up a little bit, but I honestly don't know how now that the month has started. Maybe I'll add a couple stickers here and there, maybe more decorative stuff, maybe something floral. I don't quite know, but that is pretty much what my monthlies have looked like so far. I just have May, June, and then the rest of the year is kind of not really filled out, just kind of general things in terms of if I don't have to work or like our anniversary, all that kind of stuff. So that is it for monthlies. And if we get into the weeklies, these are kind of chaotic. I enjoy this planner and doing the weeklies, but I struggle with figuring out like what I should do with these pages in terms of like the structure. Should I use them as an hourly like they're set up for, or should I do something a little different with like blocking out sections? I really have no idea. So it's been a lot of experimentation, but I do really love using kits in here because I just love the way they look and they kind of just make it look really clean, especially with the grids. So I'll show you kind of some of my spreads from the beginning of the year. This is when we went on our cruise, the weekend we went on our cruise. This was definitely a lot more plain because I had gotten home from the cruise and had a lot of things to catch up on and just really didn't have any time to set up my week during the weekend because we were gone. This was definitely a very busy spread, and it's where I kind of section things out into like priorities, work, and then like deco, and then these were just kind of like to-do items for health and stuff like that. So it just looked a lot more busy than my other spreads have. So I really like how this turned out though. So I was kind of seeing if maybe that would be something that worked, and it actually looked pretty good. I feel like I might have done a plan with me and posted it on my channel on one of these weeks, or one thing that has been happening is I would film videos and I would never release them. So I have a bunch of videos that I filmed and I just like never edited them or released them. So that was the other thing that was happening over the past few months, is I would get like a little spurt of motivation to video and film something and then nothing would happen. So this was the week where I was super sick. My birthday was on the 2nd, and so it was just kind of not a fun week. Feeling crappy, and then I had really bad neck pain throughout the entire weekend, so that was pretty rough. This week, this was pretty much catching up on everything because I was so out of commission the week before. So I was catching up on a lot of things with work and with getting our house cleaned and everything because we have my dad coming into town the week after this. So I knew I had to kind of get things all figured out before the weekend because we also had a busy weekend with like Super Bowl and all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of a big thing to do some catch up this week. I do like how this turned out with the washi and everything and the different boxes. This was when my family was in town, and then we had our Christmas morning on the 18th, which is kind of funny. It is super delayed just because they live up in Washington, so they just kind of waited for prices and flights to go down. So middle of February was kind of the best time, and then we also did some house hunting. But I will say I really do like how this turned out with like the extra decoration, especially since it wasn't the busiest week, so it kind of made it feel a little bit nicer. This was definitely an empty week. My dad was still in town for the first half of the week, so I really didn't have a whole lot going on. Then the last part of the week I was doing some more catch up after my family was here. This was beginning of March. Again, not a whole lot. I have some like to-do list stuff, but I just feel like there wasn't a whole lot in this spread. I really struggle with filling up the bottom part of all my pages. Like you can just see that the bottom is always like pretty empty. Here it was a little bit more full, but I just kind of struggle. There's almost like too much empty space in here, which is why I put some boxes in. But then I just kind of struggle with figuring out like where to put stuff to kind of divvy it out and fill up all the space. I don't know. And then finally, this is still March, and I was just getting some to-do list items down and not a whole lot of notable stuff. I was listening to a lot of podcasts and just kind of keeping busy, but not much else. This was a disaster, so this was like complete failure. I didn't print out a kit, and I didn't like want to use a kit for this week, so I just tried to do kind of a green theme because of St. Patrick's Day, but it just didn't turn out. The different color green wasn't good, and I started like outlining the sections, and that was also a disaster. So this is just yuck. I just don't like it. So this is one of my favorite kits. I love the butterflies, and I used it, but I also didn't have a lot of stuff going on this week. So I feel like there wasn't a whole lot of notable stuff for me to even put in here. Really the only big thing was the Taylor Swift concert. That was on Saturday. So I really just had more stuff going on over the weekend, but not necessarily like the most stuff to put in here, if that makes sense. I'll get into it a little bit more, but I like saw the opening, or I like was watching live streams and stuff of the Taylor Swift tour, and I was not planning on going to the Taylor Swift concert at all, hence why I didn't go when it was actually in town. So just kind of interesting, and I started like looking at the live streams, and it looked really like a really good concert, and so that's when I started kind of like thinking about going the next weekend when they were up in, or when she was up in Las Vegas. It's only about like a 5-hour drive, so really not that bad. So I started looking at that, and that's when I actually decided to get the ticket on Monday to go on Saturday night. So really, really short notice, but I am like 1000% happy that I did, and I'll talk about it a little bit more when I'm going through my dailies. But yeah, so this week was like super fun, but just didn't look the best in terms of planner spread. This is another disaster. I feel like anytime I try to do just like a plain spread like this, it just doesn't really look that great. So I tried to do some purple stuff, and then the pen I was using for my purple was like super inky, and just, I don't know, it was okay, but this wasn't the best spread at all. I pretty much just use like my dailies to keep track of stuff. When I am a little bit discouraged in my weekly spread, I really kind of avoid it, and then I move to like tracking stuff in my dailies just for that week. So that, I think, is what I did to keep track of all the things I needed to do. The fun thing for here was we went to a car auction in Glendale on like the 31st. So my husband really likes cars, so we did that, and that's always fun to do with him. And then this week is a lot better because it was like themed around some washi that I had, and so I really liked pulling some colors from that. And then it was Easter week, so I wanted it to be like more floral themed, and so that was really fun. But again, it wasn't super like busy or detailed, and I also didn't fill everything out. So it ended up being like a little not super nice looking, but I kind of do like all the colors and everything, and I just wish I would have like kept up with tracking things. And so you can kind of see that like more recently, I feel like now because I have like daily pages to keep track of things, I don't necessarily always keep up with my weekly, and I also don't always decorate my weekly, but it's something that I'm gonna kind of like come back to and do every once in a while. Also, I keep looking, like my camera, I can see what I'm filming in my camera, and I also wanted to note that like this video might look a little bit different than normal because I'm trying to just use a lot more natural light, and my office is okay in terms of natural light, but there's like a porch kind of outside, and so it does shade the area, so it looks a little bit different. It might look a little dark, so I apologize if it like looks kind of weird, but the lights that I used in my videos previously were just super harsh, and I don't know, I just don't really want to go for that look. I just want to have like a more comfortable looking situation and not have these like super bright lights shining all over the place. So, okay, I had to take a little bit of a break because my dog wanted attention, so I cuddled with him for a few minutes. So I'm back, but that is it for the weekly pages, and I'm super excited to go through the dailies because I've been really committed to doing daily pages, which is very, very weird for me because I'm someone who has never been able to commit to doing like a journal type thing. I have never stuck with it before, but now for some reason I feel really motivated to do this, and I don't know if it's because I'm like doing more decorative stuff or if I'm including things like pictures and things like that I've taped in. I have no idea why it's more motivating for me to do these, but it is. So I'm super excited about that. I think I also filmed a video flipping through January and maybe even February. I don't really quite remember. So you might have already seen a flip through of some of this stuff. So if you have, you can probably skip through a couple minutes of this, but just wanted to go and walk through things in a little bit more detail, and then so you can also see what I'm doing with these pages because it's just kind of fun seeing the different spreads and stuff. I definitely don't do the same thing every single day, so you can either use this to get ideas or whatever, or just kind of see how things are looking. So January, I have been using the blank page that's like before the month to do a little dashboard because I always really love having a dashboard. So I did that here, and I like how it turned out, and I try to do kind of the same thing for future months. So you'll kind of see that throughout the planner. But we have like New Year's. We did some fun stuff for New Year's. Not a whole lot of stuff, but I'm trying to just like journal every day, but also use this section to either write stuff that I need to do or appointments or just like notable things that I'm trying to keep track of so I can look back on things. Again, you can see like a huge to-do list here because we were going on our cruise, I think like the next day, I believe. So kind of fun, like to go back and see all the stuff that I was doing. We have our cruise here, so just kind of did a couple things to note like what we did for the cruise and during each day of the cruise. So yeah, we had a really good time on the cruise. We got home on Monday. We had that day off, obviously, because we were still in LA getting off the cruise. So we were able to kind of unpack and just kind of catch up on things. I had to come home and like immediately start working on stuff because January is a super busy time for me at work. And so because I took the day off, I just kind of like worked in the evening time. We were trying to kind of get back into the swing of things, Tuesday, Wednesday, all of that stuff. So definitely like procrastinated on some things and really just were trying to catch up this whole entire week. I was working on orders and working on designs this weekend, so that was a big thing. And I was also like listening to podcasts, which is a big thing that I like to do when I'm designing. Same with this weekend. It was pretty much all designing and putting listings up. And then Andrew just we had a very relaxing Sunday. I think we had a very long week in terms of getting caught up on stuff. So Sunday was really just like a very, very relaxing day, watching some football. Andrew then like played some video games and I watched all that kind of stuff. Had a day off on Monday for MLK Day and I did some reading, did some work stuff for my shop, all of that. And then not a whole lot else, just kind of a lot of like reading and stuff like that these days. I feel like this first part of the year, like I really was not experimenting a whole lot with like setting up my planner, and I definitely wasn't putting any stickers in. I was just kind of doing like writing some things in different colors, different fonts and stuff like that. And then I get a little bit more into like putting in stickers and different things a little bit later on. So you kind of will see things like start to change a little bit. I, like I said, was like reading a lot these days. But I also was really, really busy with work. So pretty much through the whole first part of January, it is like my super, super duper busy time at work. So that was really my focus. And I finally got done with stuff on the 19th, which was like a huge, huge sigh of relief. And that was really, really nice. Then on Friday, I think it was like me just taking a breath of fresh air because being done with stuff was really, really, a big relief. So this weekend was a little bit more relaxing. We went to Barrett-Jackson on Sunday of this week, which is like a car auction up in Scottsdale. So we did that. And then Monday, Andrew started feeling really sick. So he was staying home from work. I was not feeling sick at all, so I just kind of kept on like normal. We also had a big deadline this week. I knew on the 26th, so on Thursday, I had something big for work that I needed to do. So I was really happy that this week I wasn't sick at all. I got my Laurel Denise planner on the 24th of January, and I was experimenting with that as like a content planner and a bunch of different things. Obviously, we know how the first 3 months of the year worked out in that sense. And I really love the planner, but I am hoping to use it a little bit more now for content. But I really liked this little thing that came in the package, so I put that in there. And then I wanted to swatch some of my pens that I got. Here I got a new driver's license because I still hadn't gotten an updated driver's license from when I got married. So I got that done. Again, finished some stuff for work. And Andrew was still really, really sick. So that was kind of a bummer. But I started to not feel very great in the afternoon. So I took a little bit of a nap. But I was still kind of hoping that I was going to avoid what my husband had. And then the weekend started going downhill, definitely. So I started feeling really sick on Sunday, which was super, super annoying because I realized that the whole week really was a fluke. Like I hadn't really avoided his sickness, whatever it was. I was just kind of like my body was waiting to get sick. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was feeling really, really junky. I did a little swatch of different Tombow markers that I currently own to see like which ones I might be able to use in my planners. And there aren't a whole lot. I have like a lot of bright colors, which is kind of annoying. And I definitely prefer like not super bright, more like, I wouldn't say necessarily like neutral because I really do like having some color, but there's just some that aren't ones that I would use in my planner. So did some swatches. I did another thing here, and I also put good things here. I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to do good things in my dashboard or at the front of my planner. I think I decided on the front of my planner, but it was kind of fun having it here for the month. And then we get into February. I had my birthday, which I got a couple fun things, candle and like a game and stuff like that. Binge watched some stuff on TV. I was feeling still kind of sick and my neck was hurting really badly. Neck still hurts, didn't do a whole lot. Binged The White Lotus, listening to podcasts again. This was the first like normal day since last week because I was starting to really feel a lot better. The next few days here I had set up with some extra stickers that I had from Chrissy Ann Designs from Go Wild last year. So I put them in here just to kind of get rid of some of my stickers because I had obviously kept them for like an entire year. So really these were pretty normal days, not a whole lot of notable stuff. More podcasts, more stuff for work, more shop stuff, and then the weekend was a little bit more busy because we were prepping for Super Bowl and then prepping for my dad to come to town. So he got here on the 13th. 14th was Valentine's Day, so had to work, nothing super special, and my dad was in town, so we didn't go out or do anything like that. But it was still a really nice day because I did like a little project for Andrew, and he got me some things for Valentine's Day, and so it was nice. My sister came here. Christmas, I did like a fun kind of little Christmas spread here because we were doing like our belated Christmas this weekend. So I have Christmas Eve. My dad liked to call it global warming Christmas, so that's kind of what I was putting in here. We have like the Christmas spread, and then I got some new markers for Christmas from my sister, so I swatched those as well. I had another day off, and then we had a huge storm this day, so I wanted to kind of draw clouds and stuff like that. I made my own spaghetti this day, which was amazing. Never done that before, but I got a pasta maker for our KitchenAid, and it was super delicious. Did our taxes, and then did like kind of had a productive and relaxed day on that day. Here I kind of had started thinking about booking a cruise to Alaska, and then this is the day that I actually booked it. So that was super exciting. It gave us kind of like an extra thing to start planning for. And then at the end of the month, we were watching cruise vlogs pretty much the whole day, just kind of like in the background, just to figure out what kinds of things that we needed to prep for our trip. So Tuesday overall was really good. March, you can see I had a pretty like empty dashboard here. I think I kind of forgot that it was here until like halfway through the month, and then I realized like, oh, there's empty space that I need to fill in, but I didn't. Happy March. Really just some like more busy days, not a whole lot else going on. My sister and dad put an offer note on a house. You can see there's like not a whole lot going on. I feel like a lot of these spreads are like very boring and kind of like keep with that same theme, but I kind of get into more like detailed stuff here. This spread was like a total fail. I was trying to play off of this sticker here that I got from Dutch Bros, where I get coffee a lot of times, and like the pens didn't match, and then like the pens themselves were really not good, and so I just literally was like not in love with how the spread turned out. I just wanted to turn the page so badly. So here is another, it like looks extremely busy, but that's just because I wrote an extra thing down here talking about Silicon Valley Bank. This was the day that it failed, and I just wanted to write a little something about it because I'm planning to keep this, and I always find it really interesting looking back, like in my mom's planner type things, like when she has the days that like something big happened outside of her life, like more, you know, as a whole in society, because it's just interesting to see that like people are living their everyday lives while sometimes these like really notable things are happening. So wanted to include that. So when I look back on these pages, I see like, what did I do today? I really didn't do a whole lot of stuff. I had the day off. This is what I did. I took a shower, all that stuff. But at the same time, there's a huge bank failure. So it's just very interesting. This spread was really fun. I used some extra stickers that I had from an Orange Umbrella Co. order that I did a while ago. Andrew had like a bowling tournament, and then we didn't have a whole lot else going on. I think it was a pretty relaxing weekend. I put in, again, another bank failed. That was Signature Bank. So again, another like bigger societal thing. Here I used a different pen. So that's like the biggest difference is I think I've used the same pen this entire time, and I used a different pen. So it looks a little bit different, but you can see I kind of like put different things in here. Like I have some extra washi, and I taped in this thing, from some mail that I got. And so just a little bit different where I started kind of like putting things in here instead of just like doing pen and paper. I included some washi in here, and I wanted to try to like match the washi. It didn't work out super well in terms of like the colors, but I really like the washi, so I wanted to include that in here. Here I was trying to do like a theme, but like the markers that I was using were really not the best. Like they were super inky, so things got like a little weird looking, especially like in the titles, the headers and stuff like that. It was St. Patrick's Day, so I put in these little stickers and they don't match at all, but that is okay. And then finally, this is where I think I mentioned I was starting to like consider a Taylor Swift ticket. I had looked at some of the live streams from like her opening day and like the other Glendale show, and really like hadn't even considered going to the concert because I wouldn't call myself like a major Swiftie or whatever they say. But I was realizing like it seemed like everyone was saying it was kind of like a once in a lifetime thing. It was an incredible concert. Everyone said like it was the best thing that they'd ever seen. And knowing that I'm like pretty much the same age as her and I've really grown up on her music from the very, very beginning. So I figured, you know what, I'll look into tickets. I'll see if it's a possibility for me to go maybe like in Las Vegas, but I really wasn't quite sure because I hadn't gotten a ticket like through the pre-sale or anything. So that was kind of a big thing. So I was really considering it throughout the weekend and doing some research into it. But I wasn't quite sure still. I also started writing down like the secret songs that she was doing because I am like oddly invested in figuring out like what song she's going to be doing at each stop, which I don't know why, but it's just so interesting like trying to figure out what she could do. So that's kind of fun. I ended up getting a ticket. I think it was on Monday. I think I wrote this after the fact, or maybe I did get it like late Sunday night, but I did research like pretty much the entire day, and I realized that I was probably going to end up going by myself, which made it a lot more reasonable for me to get a ticket because sometimes like the solo tickets are a lot less expensive. So I got my ticket, and then the rest of the week was me focused on kind of like prepping, obviously, to go to the concert, to like get a hotel, all that kind of stuff, as well as obviously working and like keeping up on my stuff. But I wanted to put in a few little like printed out things. This is kind of like the emblem or logo of the Eras tour, so I wanted to include that. And then her little like printout of all of her dates and locations. And then weirdly, I found this sticker, which is like, it's kind of like a Taylor Swift specific thing, but it's like the little red heart glasses. So if you're not familiar, that's like a thing that she wore. And then throughout the week, I was listening to a lot of her songs just to get prepped, and it's like just getting excited for the concert. So I did this spread where I drew like little kind of emblems or whatever for each of her different albums, and then wrote my favorite songs from each. So that was really fun. It was fun to kind of narrow down all of my favorites and then be able to put them in a fun spread. And I really had fun like drawing different things, but you can see like I draw things in my planner, but I don't draw all the time. So this was definitely a fun little spread for me to do. Here finally it was the weekend starting on Thursday. I also had like my packing list and stuff like that, and I watched the night one for Vegas because I didn't head up to Vegas until Saturday, the day of the actual concert. This day I was really getting prepped, getting packed. I got some new makeup, all that kind of stuff. And then the next day is when I headed up to Vegas, and you can see this is like my spread here. I put vellum over it because my plan is to eventually put kind of like a blurb of like what I did this whole day. If you don't want to see like pictures, I know some people are trying to keep it surprise for like when they go to the concert and stuff like that. But if you don't want to see anything, I would skip ahead like a minute or something like that because I'm going to show this spread like in some detail. So let me just give you a chance for that. But I really was excited because I had this washi that I think is like definitely Midnight's vibes and stuff like that. And then wanted to do like a fun title that has kind of all the different colors that I associate with her different albums. And then here I drove up by myself. Like I said, I went to Vegas by myself for the concert and then went to the concert alone. I was able to, on my drive up, I like stopped at Hoover Dam and walked around just to like stretch my legs and stuff. And then I have like my ticket and the stadium, kind of stuff before the show where it had like her, like the backdrop on the screens. And then I wanted to have like a picture from my seat of like what the whole setup looked like. I'm sure you like can't really see a lot of stuff. It's kind of dark, but I thought it was kind of fun to have some detail in there. She did like her little heart thing with her hands there. And then this was like her opening act. She was playing on her guitar. We have the Reputation era down here, and then again, Reputation era. So that was really, really fun. And then this other side, similar. I just kind of have pictures of her in action, like All Too Well, stuff from like Evermore, Folklore, 1989. The secret songs, she had Marcus Mumford come out from Mumford & Sons. And then the last part was from her most recent album. And then just picture after the show of me there. And then outside the stadium was like, you could see the strip perfectly. So you can see like Luxor and going down the strip there. So I really wanted to kind of like commemorate and memorialize the whole weekend with like pictures and stuff like that. And then I will put kind of like little descriptions of how the whole weekend went, because there was just a lot of like fun things that I want to remember on top of the pictures. So anyways, that's the whole spread, but it was super, super fun. I had like so much fun, even though I went by myself. It was absolutely amazing. I would love to go again. So I'm trying to see if maybe I can make it to LA, but I'm not quite sure. Monday, got back into the swing of things. I was like just not in the mood for some stuff. So I just vented a lot in here and wanted to cover that up. And then not a whole lot going on. I didn't think it was like a super productive day, so I just kind of didn't have a whole lot to say. Here was kind of a fun spread. I drew my Taylor Swift shirt that I got at the concert. I wore it that day, so I wanted to draw it. Thought it was kind of fun. A little bit more washi and stuff like that. And then this day I went to the Mecum auction. It's like a car auction with Andrew, so I put in our tickets and everything. It was over in Glendale at the big stadium, so that was kind of fun. I have a few things put in, like Easter, spending some time with coworkers and stuff like that. And I've also been, ever since the concert, listening to Taylor Swift like nonstop. So that is a big thing. And then kind of just get into kind of more normal day-to-day stuff. So I've used a little bit more washi. I watched the Taylor Swift documentary on Netflix here. It was also my mother-in-law's birthday and my brother-in-law's girlfriend's birthday. Here I was just kind of like using different stickers. I got this from Dutch Bros, and then more kind of springy stickers because it was definitely kind of like starting to warm up on this week. I wanted to keep a list of like reaction video channels because I've been watching some YouTube videos of people like reacting to songs and different artists. Kind of a busy weekend here, got a lot of stuff done. Easter was a really good day. We spent that with my mother-in-law. So that whole day was just really, really nice and like relaxing. We had good time at church. We had good dinner, relaxed at her house, all that kind of stuff. So it was a really, really nice day. And then I was able to spend some time with my coworkers. Just we had some stuff to prep for. So it was a really nice day to get to know them a little bit better. I also turned our air conditioning on for the first time because it was almost 100 degrees. So that was a bummer because I was hoping we would get further into the year than April 10th without turning on our AC, but it was pretty unbearable in our house. And then finally, the last like real spread that I've completed has been earlier this week, so I'll usually catch up on some of my entries and stuff throughout the weekend, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I used some stickers that I had left over from Go Wild here, and then some Happy Planner stickers. This looks completely and totally chaotic here, but I am hoping it comes together and looks a little bit better like when I actually have all my stuff written down. So anyways, that is it for my dailies, but you can kind of see like I've been up to some stuff, but it has been not like a super duper busy few months, but I think just the biggest contributor to me not wanting to film and stuff has just been like my mental state over the past few months. And obviously you can tell that I've been talking for a while because the sun is starting to like creep into my filming space. So I think I'm gonna end this just so it doesn't get like blinding with the sun on my planner. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning in, and again, hopefully I'm going to be a little bit more consistent with filming and everything from now on, just because I think my mental state is a little bit better. I think I'm a little bit more motivated to actually like film and edit and upload stuff. So yeah, this is just the first of many. Hopefully you'll see me kind of more consistently posting, and you'll see me popping up on YouTube a little bit more often. But if you have any questions or anything about like my planner or my spreads or anything like that, please let me know. You can leave a comment below, or I also have my contact information in the description box if you'd like to find me on Instagram or email me or anything like that. So anyways, that is it for this video. Thanks for sticking with me for such like a crazy long video, but just want to give an update and show you guys what I've been up to. So anyways, I hope you have a good day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.